Ahoy citizens! Today, freaking Destiny content for Rise of Iron was revealed by Game Informer. Bungie teamed up with Game Informer to provide a lot of new information that is coming out for the Rise of Iron DLC on September 20th. This right here is actually the cover art for the Game Informer magazine that includes a whole article and all the rundowns for all the content coming out. If we get the armor that's like revealed in this picture, that'd be freaking sick. Here's the outline rundown of all the content that's going to be provided for Rise of Iron. There's going to be more that's not listed here obviously, but this is the main points that they wanted to provide to us. The 5 mission campaign, which is probably going to be pretty fast but also really cool at the same time, which will include a lot of additional missions and quests. Fellwinter Peak, which is a new social space. Plaguelands, which is a new area to explore similar to the Cosmodrome. Devil Splicers, which is Rise of Iron's new enemies. The Archons Forge, which is a new cooperative arena. There'll be new and reimagined strikes. We'll get Wrath of the Machine, which is Destiny's new raid. The reinvented artifacts. Raise the new light cap, which by the way is 400. There'll be new armor sets, weapons, and rewards. And they introduced something called ornaments, which is a new customizable option. I'm not 100% exactly sure how that's going to work, but they did reveal that it's going to have the ability to slightly adjust the geometric shape of your armor pieces and such. So that basically means two people can have the same piece of armor, but the armor can look slightly different from each other, which is pretty freaking cool. They include this outline called the future of Destiny. I don't know what that means, but yeah, Rise of Iron is definitely the future of Destiny. They're also going to introduce a new PvP mode called Supremacy, the reinvented Iron Banner, and they're introducing 4 new Crucible maps. Talking about the armor sets, this is the armor sets you'll get from the raid, which is in the red and black, which really has that like splicer feel to it, kind of like a Tron-esque element, which is really freaking cool to me. In the top right corner is the new armor you'll be getting for Trials of Osiris. And the auto rifle in the bottom right corner is a tease for what new Iron Banner rewards there will be for us. Here are 4 of the artifacts reinvented. There's actually going to be 8 of them. The next slide is actually going to be the other 4. So take a moment, take a pause on this video. You can read up on what all of these do. Some of them are really freaking cool, and some of them are kind of questionable whether or not they'll be actually really good or kind of lame. Such as Memory of Fellwinter, where you lose your supercharge, but you get an additional melee and grenade charge. You also get a boost to all stats, but we don't know what that boost is, so there's no way we can really get that excited about this yet. But more than likely, this will be amazing for Night Stalkers. This is the other set of 4 that also have their own unique bonuses, and you'll notice on the far right one, Memory of Silumar, it does say that there's going to be a return of the infamous Thorn in year 3, so Rise of Iron is going to bring back the exotic weapon Thorn. But before you freak out from PTSD from year 1, Thorn has been nerfed a lot since those olden days where it was the best weapon in the game pretty much, so it's still a really good weapon, but I wouldn't say it's broken by any means or overpowered, and I probably would take something like an Eyes Luna over the Thorn even still. You'll be able to purchase these artifacts from this new lady called Tyra Karn, who is a Cryptarch likely found in the new social space for Rise of Iron. Here are some snippets from the Game Informer article. It includes information regarding the new armor gear sets. Some are from the Iron Banner PvP, some are from Trials of Osiris, Wrath of Machine raid, a new Archons Forge arena event, which is that co-op arena thing. And all the factions will have their own new options. There's also the Iron Lord's gear set, which is obtained through a record book, which I can only imagine records stuff similar to like the SRL record book and the Moments of Triumph thing. So you basically just have to do random various tasks and you'll eventually unlock gear. And this also explains that new ornaments thing, which says it's a new aesthetic customization feature that allows players to enhance the geometry and appearance of individual armor pieces, as well as change the appearance of exotic weapons. They also tease about the PvP custom lobbies, saying Rise of Iron includes the introduction of a long-awaited feature our community has been clamoring for, says Crucible design lead Lars Bakken. That's almost guaranteed to be custom lobbies, but they still haven't confirmed it for us yet. It'll probably be what's going to be confirmed in Gamescom later this year, which I think is in like 2 or 3 weeks. Here's a screenshot of Septics Perfected. He's back. Septics, you can't freaking kill him. And yep, definitely looks like he's been corrupted. He's a new guy called Shiro 4, who is a scout for Cade 6. Hopefully provides more comedy into the game, just like Cade 6 did for the Taken King launch. Because one thing this game definitely desperately needs is more lighthearted comedic aspects, because so much of it is serious, epic themes that, as I was talking with another member of Hopscotch Mafia actually last night, that's one of the major reasons why it feels like such a grind going through the game and grinding up again. It's because none of it's lighthearted and comedic to make you like reimagine like fun and emotional experiences. It's all like super serious, like epic stuff of having to deal with these bosses and deal with this new alien race and like invading you and stuff like that. But you're like, all right, man, I know what the spoiler is at the ending. Let me just get through this. Whereas if it was all comedic, you're like, all right, man, this is the joke again. I remember this is still funny kind of deal. It's a big reason why stuff like Borderlands 2 is really replayable through the entire story mode. Instead of just grinding in-game content, you can grind the story mode again and again because it's always comedic. You'll still laugh about it, and it's always lighthearted and enjoyable going through the content, which is why I'm really hoping that Rise of Iron not only brings the epic serious feel, which is really freaking cool for the first playthrough, but also brings comedic aspects that makes it easier to play through that content again. This is a quick screenshot of the Gallant being brought forward used against a Splicer Walker, and this is in the Sky Shock location. This is a screenshot of a Scorch Cannon that has a blue light at the back of it, so that basically implies it's going to be an arc-based Scorch Cannon. Lightning Cannon? The Kvass is going to be brought forward as an exotic, and overall this exotic is not going to be crazy as far as unique aspects to it. Like the Hardlight has giant balls of lightning shot out. Thorn has that burn damage over time. Last Word is like a Wild West gun. This is more of like a basic regular auto rifle, but what it does offer is automatic, burst, or semi-auto fire rate options. You can also adjust the RPM, which is in the last node tree of this weapon, and adjusting RPM will give bonuses, flexibility, and stuff like that. I've always really enjoyed using the Kvass, at least for fun in Crucible, so I'm really looking forward to using this as an actual weapon going into year 3. Speaking of Kvass, this is a screenshot of using the Kvass new exotic against a Light Stalker called Lilkis, I think is how it's going to be pronounced. Maybe Illicus. I can't really tell what the letters are there between I's and L's, but this is definitely in Bannerfall. So that's twice now that they've used a PvP map as part of a PvE content within Rise of Iron. So we can probably expect more PvP maps being used in PvE elements within this new DLC coming out. This is a screenshot of the Archons Forge cooperative arena. It looks really freaking cool. I'm excited to explore this arena. But if you've been watching my content for a long time, you'll know by this point that one thing I don't really enjoy is wave-based combat. I like having an objective, go and do that objective, fight the enemies while going towards the objective and try and make something happen. I don't enjoy just sitting there and just clearing out constant waves of enemies. That's really just not fun to me. However, the first one to a few experiences of the wave-based combat is always pretty fun because it's a new experience. It's just not enjoyable for me as far as grinding it out. And because Destiny is handled much like an MMO, it's going to involve a lot of grinding for most content, just like the Prison of Elders content was. This is a picture of the entryway to the temple, which is going to be the new social space for us. And last but not least, my most favorite addition from this Rise of Iron content is live wolves in the new social space at the very least, if not elsewhere in the campaign. I'm so excited for interacting with live animals that aren't just birds that give away your position on PvP. There are a lot more screenshots and other information within the Game Informer article. I'll have that Game Informer article link provided in the description below. There's also a link to an Imgur that has a lot of screenshots, not only the ones that I used in this video, but a lot more that I just didn't simply have time for in this video. There's a lot of cool stuff you can check out in that link. I definitely suggest that you do so. I'm incredibly excited about the new Rise of Iron content coming out. Not a single thing that has been provided to us so far has been showing as, man, I really don't like this. The closest I come to that with is the new artifacts that give those extra bonuses, the 8 that resemble the Iron Lords. One thing Bungie has definitely approved in the past is that they unfortunately have a hard time balancing a large variety of mechanics in a PvP environment. So while they're already struggling with so many different variety aspects of PvP, they're now including an additional aspect of these artifacts giving additional bonuses. More than likely, we're going to narrow down 2 to 3 of those 8 artifacts that are going to be overpowered compared to the others. But obviously, there's no reason we should be super pessimistic and just completely expect that to happen. Hopefully, Bungie's figured out a way of balancing all 8 perfectly to where we can use all 8 effectively just as much as the others. Obviously, it's basically impossible to perfectly balance everything, but coming as close to it as possible is definitely ideal. Regardless of how PvP will end up, there's going to be a lot more content for PvE, and I'm so freaking excited for it. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Leave a like for this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being you, and thank you as always, citizens, for watching.